Hi folks, welcome back to another episode of the Single Dad's Cookbook. Today we're going to be making a minced beef pasta bake. So for this you'll need some minced beef or ground beef, depending on where you're watching this from, a little bit of ginger, a couple of cloves of garlic, a couple of carrots, an onion, some bacon and some mixed herbs and spices. So first we're going to get on to the veg. So I'm just thinly slicing the onion, just like we've done in a few of the recipes beforehand. Nice and simple. We're going to get the garlic, and again we're just going to thinly slice that, just like so. Pop that to the side. Then we're going to get onto the carrot. Now with the carrot, slightly different. What we want to do is we want to thinly slice this and then get it into little cubes. While I'm doing that, I'm going to take this opportunity to say thank you for all the beautiful comments. Thanks for watching the videos. If you are new to the channel, please think about subscribing. It costs you nothing, and you're just helping this journey grow, which is exciting. So we're just dicing up those carrots. Then we're onto the ginger. Get your little microplane, easy for me to say, and we're just going to grate that. If you've not got a microplane, just again thinly slice the garlic as small as you can, and we've got that. Make sure you get all that goodness into there. Now I've just popped this all in a bowl. I'm giving it a bit of a mix and let that impart into there. And then we're going to go on to the bacon. Now for the bacon, I'm just taking 4 or 5 rashers, and I'm just going to thinly slice it up into little pieces, just so that we can render that fat and get the whole cooking process started. So just like that, nice little ribbons, and we're going to get that going. So nice and simple. Take your time with this. Well, so now we're just going to get the bacon in. So we've got the bacon frying off there, and we're going to let that cook through until all the fat's rendered down, and then we can get it moving along nicely. So give it a bit of a shoot around, get the separate all the bacon out, and what it'll look like is it'll look like this, so nice and rendered. And that's just all flavour there. So into that you want to add all the veg in, and we're going to let that sweat down and marinate in with the beautiful bacon fat that's rendered to give it even more flavour. And you want to give that just a good old mix around and let it break down and become amalgamated in that cooking fat. So give that a bit of that. Once it's all softened down, what you want to add in is you want to add in a bit of pepper. You're not adding salt because I'm using smoked bacon, and that has a bit of salt in it. So once you've got that going, you want to add in your mixed herbs. And again, this is just the supermarket's own mixed herbs. So nothing too expensive there. And you just want to give that a good old mix and let them cook through. Once you're happy that that's all done, what you want to do is just push it to the side, and you want to put in your beef into the pan. Now what I'm doing here is I've moved all the veg and stuff to the side, and the reason for that is I want to get this into nice chunks and let it brown, just so that it's not to the point where you're creating a caramelization, but you just want it to cook off a little bit before you start mixing it all in. So as you can see there, it's just all beautifully, and you can see it's just starting to brown. At that point, that's when you want to start mixing it in. Now I'm using a lean beef here, so there's very little fat that will come out of it. If you're using a more fattier beef, then you want to do this in a separate pan, drain it, and then put it back in. Now once it's cooked down and it's a little bit longer, so it's all cooked through, you want to add in some tomato puree. You want to add in probably dessert spoon, maybe a tablespoon of that paste. You give it a mix. You'll know when you've got it there. You'll see it all coming together, and it's a nice little tinge. So once you've done that, now there's a bit of a secret recipe. you add in a can of tomato soup. You can add in tinned tomatoes at this stage, but the tomato soup's got the little bit of sweetness, and so it mixes a nice balance. And then you can see it's all beautifully amalgamated. And then we're off to boil the water. I'm not going to show you guys boiling water, but I'm using some cochlea, just the pasta shells. It just makes it a bit easier to hold the sauce. So once that's cooked, now you don't want to cook the pasta all the way through because it's going to do some cooking in the oven. You want to mix it in. I've used about 250 grams of pasta. So you give it a good old mix, get yourself a container, and you're just going to pop that in to your oven-proof dish. You've got your oven on at 180 degrees preheating, and you're going to cook this through. And once you've filled up your dish, you want to give it a little bit of a knock down to make sure there's no any air pockets in it. And then you just want to finish that off with some cheese. You could use mozzarella, you could use cheddar. I've just used some red Leicester. Again, just a little liberal sprinkling just to get that nice bubbly, crunchy texture on the top. And once you've done all that, get it in the oven. I sprinkle a little bit of pepper over the top, just as an extra little bit of seasoning. Once you've done that, this is the big moment of reveal. About 15-20 minutes later, once the cheese has gone nice and golden brown, the pasta's finished cooking, there you have a beautiful minced beef pasta bake. Guys, I hope you try it. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you are all staying safe. From my family, I hope you try this at home. From my family to yours, I hope you guys are staying safe out